Steep Tea Party. Has anybody been to a Steep Tea Party before? Has anybody heard of Steep Tea before? Okay, so Steep Tea is fairly new to the U.S. We've got someone coming in the door.
Nancy.
Come in, Nancy. Here's a chair.
I don't need a chair.
Are you talking because I'm old?
Yes.
Old people can't get up.
We shift all the little ones.
Slapped you around for a long time.
Okay.
Was this your CD? No.
So you haven't missed much. We just started and I just introduced myself and told the ladies thank you for having me and thank you everyone for coming. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass around this folder. I have two of them. They're both identical. I'm going to explain to you a few things that are in the folder. There's the ingredients list, so any of the ingredients, if you're curious for what's in a tea, it'll have it in there. There's also the food products that also, there's an ingredients list for that too. Inside the catalog, you're going to notice there's diamonds next to each pitcher. It'll tell you there's caffeine in it, it's gluten-free, and there's a little legend on the side of the page also that'll tell you what those letters mean. If the letter's not in there, then it doesn't have that particular item. If it's has an apple around the diamonds, then it's organic. So that'll let you know if it's organic or not. All of our tea is fair trade tea. And Tiny has really high standards for our tea, so it all has really high standards. Something I want to point out is we do have a 6-month teaser plan. What that is $19.95 a month. It's billed monthly to your account for the 6 months and then it cancels. It makes a great gift. If Julia has 2 bookings today, she will get this teaser plan free for 3 months. So, and that's once the bookings are completed and it's qualified parties. Another thing that Steep Tea offers is a professional fundraising program. So if you know if anybody needs a fundraiser for anything, it looks just like the school fundraisers, real professional, looking at 12 items for $12 and the organization receives 40%. The only thing the organization has to do is get a total sales of $500 for it to qualify as a fundraiser. So it's a really good program to have. I also have a PowerPoint presentation I can come to any place that wants to have it. It's also good for if somebody has a scout or a senior in high school that has a trip, they can do a personal fundraiser for themselves. So it doesn't have to be a large organization. The only thing that would happen is that people will be charged taxes on their items that are taxable, which is any hardware. The other thing I'm going to point out is our specials for the month. Each month Steep Tea has specials. Each month with a $50 purchase, Steep Tea gives you a free bag of tea. So anytime you have an order that's going to be over $50, if you give me a call, I can put that in my back office as a party. What you'll get is a free bag of tea, whatever it is for that month, and it also can give you 10% back in hostess credits. You're also more than welcome to go to teawithginger.com and order from my website. Either or works for me. It just gives you a little bit added bonus if you call me and we do it through my back office. One of the specials we have for customers this month, this is Picnic Pint. It's has some chalk in it that comes with it. The straw comes with it, everything for $10. This you can write on. This is not dishwasher safe, so you're just going to want to rinse it out and then drink it again. So I'll pass around these folders. In the back of the folders, there's information if you'd like to join Steep Tea. I don't go over that a whole lot. We can talk on the side about that. It's only $99 for a kit. It's excellent if you want a tea discount. You only have to sell or buy $100 every 6 months. So it's definitely something to think about if you're a huge tea drinker. Yeah. So the first tea that I'm going to start you guys off with today is a white tea. It's called Pink Lady. Since it's summertime, I did a bunch of the teas cold for you ladies so that you can try them cold. Any of the teas are good hot or cold. This particular one I made, I steeped overnight using our sweet tea pitcher. This pitcher right here. I didn't add any fruit to it, but of course you can put up peaches and put it in there. The reason I didn't add fruits or sugars except for the fruit tea at the end is I want you to try it just plain and then know that you can add a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of recipes. If you go to my Tea with Ginger on Facebook, you will see a bunch of recipes that I've collected there. There's also a bunch of information on tea. You can also go to steeptea.com, has a recipe page too with a bunch of recipes on there too. There's this large teacup up here. If there's something you don't like, feel free to dump it into the cup. There's no hard feelings. So.
This is white tea, this one right
Yes,
here.
this is called Pink Lady White Tea.
Oh, pink white.
And you'll notice tea is kind of like wine, so you'll notice a little bit of aftertaste is when the flavors come out a little bit. So So this one actually has some orange peel in it, but they call it Pink Lady because it's supposed to have a little bit of a grapefruit taste. So just because they call something like Pink Lady that talks about grapefruit does not mean that there's grapefruit in it. Sometimes they'll do the essence of the tea as far as what they name the tea. So
But am I following you right? This is the white tea, and then the Pink Lady's added to it.
correct. So it's
Okay.
flavoring, natural flavorings that are added. And the natural flavorings actually come from fruits and natural things. You'll notice with white teas, they're going to be a little bit lighter and a little bit smoother. What a white tea is, it's the tea leaf when it's very young, the plant. They take the first bud off the tea leaf before it starts to open, and then they process it. That's why your white teas are typically more expensive. As far as caffeine goes, the white, black, and green tea all come from the same plant. It's the Camellia sensis plant. So, as far as caffeine goes, white tea is going to have the least with the most antioxidants. Green tea is going to be middle of the road, and black tea is going to be, yeah, like this one. You can pour it out in the cup, honey.
See the big cup over there? That's
And the black tea is going to have the most caffeine. You can dump it out.
Because it doesn't have any sweetener.
You can also add sugar to it. I do have sugar cubes right up here on the table. You'll notice with some of the fruit teas, like this Pink Lady, if you add sugar to it, it really changes the dynamic of the tea. So you might want to try a little bit of sugar in it.
It was good and sweet, so.
Yeah, I think it's more
Yeah,
sugar.
that's okay. I'm perfectly fine.
The only thing I'm going to need is, Julia, do you have a spoon by chance? I forget what.
Kenzie, just a teeny tiny bit in that little bitty thing, okay? Oh, that might help it.
Oh, the sugar cube.
So, give it a chance to dissolve.
There,
Yeah,
Julia
just
just put a
squeeze it.
spoon on the table if someone needs a spoon. I normally have stir sticks, but.
I think I want one of everything.
Perfect.
Then I'll never make it.
Then you need to have a party.
Mine. What
So
is
this
that?
pitcher also, it's made of glass, so you want to be real careful with it. On all of our products, we say hand wash only. To be honest with you, with tea, a lot of our tea pots, you want to season them, which means make tea in them first and dump it out. So if you want to get rid of your tea bags that you have that you're no longer going to use, you can season your teapot that way. So basically just rinse this out a little bit every once in a while and you're pretty good. Or you can hand wash it, of course.
It's gonna be super sweet now.
That's good, isn't it?
So what do you think of that first one? Yay, nay?
Okay.
I liked it. Very soft.
I just didn't have a,
Good with sugar.
because I'm saying.
We have an extra.
Which is with sugar.
Mom, we have an extra. Here, I have more Oslo cups. Does somebody else need another? Oh, did I miss you?
No.
Okay. Did somebody else need another? I have more Oslo cups if we need those. One thing I'll mention, the cups that you're drinking out of are called the Oslos. We now have the Cosmos. So we no longer have those ones, but these work very well for tea tastings. This is actually a little bit larger. So it's more for home use, and people tend to like the larger size, so we went to the larger size.
Well, I need to do it.
But basically same concept. Double wall will keep anything, you can drink hot beverages, cold beverages out of this, and the double wall will keep it warmer and cold. So. The next thing I'm going to make for you is a Canadian maple latte. This is really good. This is our version of something like if you want to go to Starbucks, instead of doing that, you can substitute with this. What it is really finely ground tea. We do not add sugars to our teas except for, with the exception for the lattes. The lattes do have cream and sugar made in them to make them something quick and easy to make.
No, you can use a Keurig. They have a little thing you can put in your Keurig, and then you put the tea in it, and then you cover it that way.
Here you go.
That's what I'm thinking.
So does anybody know how to froth? Does anybody want to volunteer to froth and try it for the first time? It's really easy.
Haley does.
She's a frother. You know, it's funny, typically it is the younger girls that do the frothing for me.
Go, Mace.
Wanna try it?
Macy will.
Should be our Batista.
Oh, welcome. Okay, all you're gonna do is take. Okay. So go ahead and just pump it up and down, set it on your leg, and just keep pumping it until it gets hard. So this latte is gonna be super fast. What I'm doing it in is our French tea press. So all I'm gonna do is pour the water in there. It takes about 45 seconds and it's done. So it's one of those things you can be quick out the door. So what I'll do after this is done, I'll pass it around and you can add froth to it if you like. And you can add this vanilla maple cinnamon topper. This topper is great for on top of apples after school, applesauce, any type of desserts, ice cream, whatever you want. This does have tea in it, so your family's gonna get the health benefits of tea. Oh, I just walked there. Thank you. Yeah, it's probably good. You can probably stop frothing now. No, you can use skim milk, you can use almond milk. So basically what the French press has, it has a really fine mesh on it. And when you push this down, since the particles are so fine, it's going to keep the tea at the bottom. One thing about tea is you don't want to oversteep it. So 45 seconds, you want to be done. You want to transfer this, you're probably not going to drink this all in a glass full. So if you're not sharing it with a bunch of people, you're going to want to transfer it into another pot or something to sit on the side. Otherwise, it will become bitter. The tannins in the tea come out when you oversteep. A lot of people don't realize that. They think the key into making a stronger tea is to steep it for longer. It's not. It's to add more tea leaves and then steep it for the correct amount of time because it will become bitter. And that's a lot of reasons why a lot of people don't like tea is because of the bitterness. So all I'm going to do is plunge this down to the bottom. I'm just pouring it in here for see how you did with your whipping cream. Now this latte happens to be a black tea. We have various, you read the latte and I'll tell you what type of tea is the latte is made out of. So, do you want to hold it and walk around together? Alright. Yeah.
Sorry.
Fine.
And they just shake it from here?
Yeah, so that's going to work like a peppermint. So you're just going to take it and you're going to grind it. Yep. So put your powder first and then add the vanilla milk.
Yeah, second floor.
It's on page
I
30.
can't do that. I need another.
One of the girls behind me.
Yeah.
Did you see? And you can adjust the coarseness of that on the bottom. So if you want a finer topper, you can do it finer or
Well,
coarser.
I think it's pretty.
There's also a bunch of recipes online for that too.
This is my kind
Yeah, this is super popular,
Which one is this?
especially for people that are trying to get off coffee. This is the Canadian maple latte.
of, I love people. I need coffee.
Don't worry, I've never had one. This is my first one.
On coffee.
So this one does have black tea in it, so it is going to have a little bit of caffeine. The difference in caffeine with tea caffeine and the caffeine that you get out of coffee is it's more of a clean caffeine. It's going to work with your
Real mint.
bloodstream a lot smoother.
My teas are
Do you want some, Kaylee? You gonna share?
like a butter
She wants to smell it all.
I know, she said this is the first time, this is the first time.
Yeah.
This party.
Butter.
A lawn cat.
Smell it.
Okay. I might like to I like to You might like smelling that.
Oh, sorry, Ginger.
I'd rather have my tea, just tea. And coffee.
You never had a choice.
No, but be careful.
I know. That.
Now it smells good.
Yeah, why not?
But they give you a choice. I don't go to Starbucks.
It's the cinnamon on top of it. Good back. Cinnamon sugar.
Put that on there.
Yes, please. Don't stop, please.
She's like extra.
Yeah, and then
Good, bad, good. A little bit more fry.
I don't, okay,
She's like, please.
Mom needs to know nothing. You're doing it.
Of a Robos because like they've never tasted that. See, I don't remember it. I know.
I love
And
white
after
peas.
the
White
I'm really behind the times here.
And then fifth one.
Well, you go there and you have to order and they make your choice.
I don't put the
In your regular, you can have Robos.
cinnamon toast.
That's my favorite.
I'm a country girl.
Yes.
Just to release the flavor a little bit. Apple cider, stuff it down. Put it in a. No, they don't have it here.
Something I'm proud of the counter before I forget is our dill dip. Our dill dip is super popular. It has green tea in it. So I always say if your kids or your family members, like your husband, won't drink tea, you can sneak it into their diet for them to get it in other ways for the health benefits. So my kids love the dill dip. They love some of the baked goods that we have that have tea in it. So I'll set this out press it later, else I know I'm going to forget. There's some papers that have been passed around and some, there's a book with the Healing Power of Tea that has index on chapter 6 that has a quick reference guide to different herbs and teas, healing properties of it. So you feel free to pass that around for those of you that came a little bit late. The next tea I'm going to make for you is going to be a hot tea. It's going to be ginger lemon sunshine. On every bag it's going to tell you how long to steep it for. It's also going to tell you how many times you can re-steep. Like green tea, you can re-steep 3 times. So that's something to know. So you're going to get a lot of use out of one bag. What I'm going to make it in is the bruet. The bruet's really nice because it allows the tea leaves to circulate, which is really good for the tea leaves to get the flavor out. And it's also, it has a mechanism on the bottom. When you push it with your cup, it's going to automatically go in your cup. When you pull up, it's going to stop. So since we have so many ladies here, I'm probably going to do this twice and re-steep for the second time because this bruet probably won't go for everyone. So,
That's last. Honey, it's hot too. Oh, are you okay?
oh, here's a paper towel.
You're right.
That's my weakness. That's why I always like lunch. Because I
You
can.
want a s'mores and cheeseburger.
You want biscuits?
Yeah, it's got all over the cup. Page 41. Thank you.
And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been using,
No,
there's
Hold on.
spoons that we sell.
Do the bottom.
It's called the Perfect Cup and the Perfect Pot. So these are real handy to keep in your drawer just to pull out and make your own cups of tea at home or pots of tea at home. Keep in mind a typical cup is 8 ounces, and us Americans, we drink out of mugs, not cups. So me at home, I use Longaberger mugs. I do 1.5 for mine. Also, people adjust it to taste. They might like it a little bit weaker or a little bit heavier in flavor. So you can also learn to adjust it and taste by your measuring spoon.
Mango be like simple.
This one is the raw.
Not cheese.
This is this is clean.
Was it good?
So you like cheese balls.
It went all over.
It's just having a big pie there. I didn't know she put anything on
What is wrong with you?
Okay, so while we're waiting for this to steep, it's going to be about 4 minutes. I'm going to go over some of the traveling options that we have for you or some of the steeping options we have for you. We have this clip-on infuser that you can just clip onto the side of your mug, depending on your mug or your coffee cup, how well it will work. With my Longaberger thicker rims mugs, it doesn't work as well. So, this works, but it's not my highly favorite type of thing. One thing I suggest for you when looking at any type of steeping mechanism is to find something that's a fine mesh infuser. So we sell some items like this. I wouldn't consider a fine mesh infuser, but it's super cool. All you do is it's a sliding steeper. You just slide it, scoop your tea, and do it. Only problem is if you're using Robus teas, it can float out because Rooibos is more finely ground. So again, I typically lean people more towards a fine mesh if they're going to start out. Start out with something good that's going to last you a long time. Not that this isn't good, but just personal preference. We also have this sliding steeper. It's the holster. This you just slide, scoop, put it on, and it hangs on the side of your cup. We have this one. That's another scoop. Put it in, and you can swirl this one. So one thing I want to mention, me personally, is it's really good for your tea leaves to have a lot of room to move and circulate. So in these, you can imagine there's not a whole lot of room to move and circulate. So I'm just going to point that out. Not that people don't buy them. It's just my recommendation. We do sell this. Oh, we have this infuser that is a fine mesh infuser. This one's sells for $19.50. It sets on top of your mug. So this comes off. You just steep. You can set this aside on your plate or whatever if you're going to re-steep it again. This is a good steeper. My suggestion would be, if you're going to get something, go for one of the Travelers or bubble cups. This is a really nice bubble cup. It's double insulated like what you're drinking out of now. This has a lid that comes off, so when you pull off your fine mesh infuser, you can set it over here. This is extremely delicate in the dishwasher. You do not want to put this in the dishwasher. Again, you want to hand rinse it out. You want to be careful rinsing it out because these do break. So they are glass, and if you drop it, it can break. One thing is, though, that's nice is this costs $28.50. Is that you get this nice fine mesh infuser. This has lots of room for the tea to circulate. You can use this in any coffee cup you have at home. So you can use this separate of that if something happens to that. Or a lot of times I use this outside of the bubble cup because I love my coffee cups I have, and that's just the way it is. So, yeah, I'm way too honest. So another thing we have is this Traveler. This Traveler is super popular with nurses. The tea in here I'm told stays hot for longer than 12 hours. I don't know anybody who keeps their tea for 12 hours, but that's what they tell me, so I believe it. So this does have a locking mechanism on the top. I did have a customer put it in reverse. It may leak if you tip it over, so I would kind of suggest against it. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Chelsea.
This you just push up to unlock. It flips open. This has this little steeper on the bottom. You turn it, pull it off, fill it, and it's put it back on. The only thing, and I'll show you the one that's my favorite, that I don't like about this one is you cannot throw this right into a cup and steep it. With this other glass one I'm going to show you, which is my favorite, you can throw that into any cup at home and steep with it. This one runs $40. It comes in a teal, purple, pink, and now a manly gray. Yeah, everybody likes the teal. These were on back order for a while and they just came in. So I'll pass this around. Feel free to open, twist, play, do whatever you want with it.
If you put ice in that, will it sweat?
I don't know because I don't use a Traveler a lot. It's stainless steel,
It probably will.
so it probably will, but I don't know for sure. Because it is insulated too. So I don't know, to be honest with you.
Oh, let's
I'll
try
have
it.
it. Yeah, yeah,
Cold in
yeah.
here.
Yeah, we can do that. Do you have ice cubes in there? Go ahead, Deb. I'll pass it around first and then we'll try them.
It's cool if it sweats.
Yeah, that's
it'll
what-
be nuts.
That's what I'm
Start
thinking
with
at
in here.
school.
All you're gonna do is push and you're gonna pull your cup down to release. It has nothing to do with this handle on top.
I had one that sweat and I was talking and speaking about it. Kids are all getting wet.
Wow!
That came out like so fast.
Yeah, they're great. So you just push and release.
Yeah, it's hot.
Oh, now what are we drinking?
This is ginger lemon sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Hey,
my
why don't
favorite
you
green
guys
tea.
not eat just taste like mine?
Even people who
Ginger and lemon, oh, so
I'm gonna let you try. I can't do
I
it.
like it. I'm just gonna share with you guys too.
yes.
You wanna see this?
no, I didn't know
It's hot.
Do you like the container then?
Put sugar in.
it smells lovely.
Or do you wanna go get me a cube of sugar and I'll put a drop of sugar.
Yeah, but when she would cook, that doesn't bother me unless it's.
Okay.
Thank you ladies so much, but
I think it's more she wants to do the sugar cube.
Well, they're fine.
Honey sticks are fun too. Smell it.
So the nice thing about this green tea, as I said before, is you can reheat it 3 times.
So let it
So I'm just gonna reheat this for the ladies that I've missed, so it'll just be a few seconds. I'm gonna finish going over the travelers. So this happens to be my favorite traveler.
Oh, there
Some
you go.
people have a love-hate relationship with this one. So I'm just gonna be perfectly honest with you when I describe this one, but I sell a ton of these because I love this one. And I'm gonna tell you why. For one, it comes with a cozy, which is really nice. This is glass, it will break. And the reason why people have a love-hate is because a lot of people drop these, or the kids bump it off the counter, or any of that kind of stuff. So those type of people should probably steer towards the stainless steel one, right, the pop top. But this one sells for $28.50, I believe. And basically, it's a double wall, just like what you're drinking out of. I think it looks super cool when you're walking around and you can see the different colored tea in it. I know men that have taken this to work and then people think they're drinking beer out of their cup. One thing about the pop top that I didn't mention is it's more of a sipper cup because it's so hot. You kind of, when you're sipping it out, it comes out slow, but it kind of rests on the lip and then you sip it. This is a gulper, and I have to be one of those drinkers that like to gulp whatever I drink, so this works out really well for me. This will, if you twist it really hard, with a washcloth when you're washing it out, the glass can separate, so I will tell you that. Basically, again, just like I said with the other things, you season teapots, so a quick rinse is fine with this, unless it starts getting gross, then you want to obviously wash it out with a bottle brush or something. And then just let it dry. You don't want to put it in the dishwasher. If it bangs up against anything, it will break. So you don't want to put it in the dishwasher. The number one reason why this is my favorite item is because this sells for $19.50. Basically, for $10 more, you're going to get this little guy in the Traveler that may or may not break on you in the future. I haven't broke mine, but I see it all the time on our websites. So this is my favorite thing in the whole universe, and I wish we'd come out with it separate. This right here has a lid on it, so it's a fine brush diffuser, and this you can drop in any mug, any cup you have at home. You can drop it in your pitchers at home, so if you have a tea pitcher that you love and you want to use and it doesn't have an infuser in it, you can drop this right in, and it has plenty of room for the tea to circulate. This just twists off and twists back on. And then it's got little clips inside, so you just squeeze those to put it in while you're steeping, and then you pull it out. So I'll pass this around too. It does have the cozy that you can use with it also that comes with it. So
Would you like it? Do people drop it if the cozy's on? Or does it break if the cozy's on it?
you know, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if it's glass, we'll drop it the first day I have it. So.
Right. Yeah. I'm not really sure yet. It's funny because I did a vendor event for Christmas time, and some of my girls were helping me. And every time I have a meeting, I talk about how much I love that, and they all think I'm crazy a little bit. But I'm like, I sell a ton of them, and people love them that buy them from me.
Let's try it. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought about that, but I didn't think she'd go for it.
It's on Rod.
The one girl dropped hers on the way out to my car. It wasn't the glass, it was the stainless steel, and of course it didn't break. And she's like, and that's why I like the pop top. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. So they're always harassing me about that. So I did pass around a sheet earlier that talks about the health benefits of the teas. There's like a quick reference guide on it. Green tea is known for preventative cancer. It's got a bunch of other great things. My husband's a huge coffee drinker, like 4 pots a day, ridiculous. I talked to the doctor. I went to the doctor with him and told the doctor, and the doctor was like, yeah, that's okay. And I'm like, okay, battle lost. This is like 6 years ago. I'm like, okay, that's it. Doctor says it's okay, it's fine. So anyways, he will drink, which he needs to drink more of, but 1 glass a day of green tea. I've also got him on the matcha, which I'll explain to you later what the matcha means. That he will do that once a day, which is good.
She was 8 cup pot. She was drinking 2. She put off
How much is that thing?
Normally I know that. Isn't that awful? I don't know. I'd have to look that up right now.
Do you know what area it's in? Accessories? No.
Yeah. It should be back in my
I
area.
remember seeing it.
How to brew it.
There's
also an index at the back.
35.
So would you say green tea is probably the best, like health
So,
wise?
okay, so most studies have been done on green
Yeah,
tea
when I
because
have
green
that.
tea is so popular, but they're all from the
Really,
same
really?
plant. Black, green, and white, and oolong is all from the same plant. So since there isn't a lot of studies done, they're saying there's still a lot of the same health benefits in the other teas too. It's only that the studies, green tea is so popular and the studies went crazy about it. So now they're starting to study the other teas too. So they all have similar properties. The difference is how they're, when they're picked, how they're roasted, how they're cut up and things like that.
That smells so good. It does smell good.
I don't like gluten, but there's not much of a gluten. I'm trying to like ask. It tastes good. And it's good for you, right?
Yes. So if anybody wants some more, then I have some left. You want some, honey?
Yeah, she does.
Did you like that one? Did you try it?
She did, with sugar in it, she loved it.
Oh, awesome.
You may go get her a sugar cube. I will hold this stuff, please.
Yeah, that's one thing about the teas. There is no sugar added to them. So us in Americans, we tend to be like the sweetness of it. So a little bit of sugar, okay? Another quick and easy thing we sell are these tea triangles. These are great if you're doing steeping beer. You can steep beer, alcoholic drinks, all that. I don't know if you guys saw in the invitation online. I put a few recipes on different things you can do with alcohol and wine. They're also it's real popular to steep wine with tea. And to do your own beers to make like craft beer. Basically, these are tea triangles. They're in a silk bag, and it's basically tea. It's more of a convenience thing. So it's the same tea that you get.
It's still
Which is full. Yes. And actually now, we sell them separate from the tin tins. The tin is sold separately. So if you want tins, you don't have to have tins, but if you want tins,
So it's still
that's what
40.
it is. Okay, so this one has a fine mesh that's going to press down to the lattes. This one is going to be for all the other
I'm confused. The French press is the big one, right?
Correct.
And it's got the fine mesh?
Correct, because it's for the lattes are finely ground up. They have the sugar and creamer already known. So what happens because they're so finely ground, you're going to want to press to push it down to hold the tea back from coming out when you're doing it.
Okay. But you can do coffee in there
Correct.
or...
So if you have a French press at home, you can perfectly use the French press you have already.
Okay.
So, and some people, we have steeping sets too, which I'll show you in a little bit. Some people steep in those too, but I have heard the lattes don't turn out quite as good if you use a steeping set. So, a press is nice to have.
Like your shoes, something's wrong here. Those are Kinley's old ones, so I'm sure
That's gross.
Kaylee had like
The next one I'm going to serve you is blood orange black tea. So this one is not sweetened. It will change some of the flavor to it if you add some sugar to it. Another thing that I try to refrain myself from doing is to slice an orange and put that up top or around it. This is our iced tea pitcher. It has a top that screws off. The tea basically goes in this mesh thing that's in the center, and then you can steep it. Whereas with the sweet tea pitcher, I used some of our steeping sacks, and I just hung them over the edge, and then I actually steeped that one overnight. You can cold steep overnight, your teas will not turn bitter. If you hot steep, you want to again go towards the lines of how long it says to steep for on the bag so it doesn't become bitter. So this I did hot steep. Some people say if you hot steep, it brings out flavor more. So again, it's just personal preference. Cold steeping is quick and easy. You can do it with any of the teas, hot or cold steep. So
Is that the fine mesh? That has
this is not fine mesh. So what's going to happen is you're going to steep in this. This also does not separate from the container. So you're going to steep in this. You're going to take this out, take it over your sink, rinse it out, and then put it back in.
How long will that keep, like in the fridge?
So I would say 2 or 3 days, but I know people that keep it longer. I mean, that's one of those things. Another thing is sun tea. You do not want to do sun tea. I have a thing on my Facebook page about sun tea and how bacteria grows in sun tea. So if you ladies are doing that, do not do that anymore. It's really bad and really gross. So just something to think about. You ladies like that? Last one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you added sugar.
Oh, it's not the lemon, it's the sugar.
So as I said, this one's good with orange slices. Another good thing to do with your teas is if you have frozen fruit, you can throw that in your tea, and it'll help keep the tea cold. It'll also help flavor the tea. This one's blood orange black tea.
Is it hot?
I think it's no, it's cold honey. I think this is called blood orange sunrise. I think I'd have to go back.
Yeah, it is.
Gotcha.
And sugar.
Uh-oh. You bump into you?
Yeah, people. Yeah, I tend to like my tea strong, so it might be too strong. I like it strong.
Okay. So yeah, you can adjust the strength again by how many tea leaves you put in.
Sitting here blowing.
I like strong tea.
It's
so
cold.
Another thing, if you're going to make hot tea, and either one of those, or hot tea to make cold, if you're brewing it hot first, make sure that your tea gets to room temperature before you put it in the refrigerator. Because you don't want the, especially the glass to crack. It's just a good habit to get into.
Now, is this a black?
Crazy lady, leave your feet down there where anybody can trip over. You mean this the way you normally do?
Yes. So I use 2 perfect pot spoons for this jug of tea. Because a pot is actually a lot smaller than a jug, so that's why I use more. Yeah, it's really good too. Like I said, if you cut up the oranges and put the oranges around the top, then it gets more of an orange infusion. It's really good.
Well, can I just introduce some of these people real quick?
Sure.
Because I don't think some of my church friends know my family. This is Allie, this is Stephanie's friend, and Stephanie's my daughter in the middle on the floor. The next person is Rebecca, and we work together at the bus garage. Emily is my cousin, she lives next door, and her baby Bentley. Carolyn Wireman is our pastor's wife. Macy Urban and her mom Kathy, and we go to church all together. My daughter-in-law Melissa, and my 2 granddaughters, Kaylee on the floor, Kinsey on the seat. Delaney is Ginger's daughter. And then my sister-in-law Debbie. And then Rachel and Lauren, I can't ever tell them apart, so they always have to tell you. And their mom, Rhonda. And we go to church together. Catherine, we go to church together. My best friend, Sherry, we grew up together from this high. She lives down the street, and her daughter, Samantha. And Nancy Berry, we've known each other from church like 40 years ago, from a different church.
49 now.
You're a young girl.
Or $5 ago.
Awesome group. All right, the next thing I'm going to go on to, which everybody asks about, because a lot of people in the U.S. have not heard about it, is rooibos tea. So rooibos is really heart healthy, really good for you. It comes from a completely different plant than the black, green, white, and oolongs, purees, all those. So this comes from an African redbush. It's naturally caffeine free, so it doesn't have caffeine in it, and it also does not have caffeine. Oh, and it's naturally sweet. I'll pass this around to someone else.
He was just laughing. I'm like, okay.
The other tea.
No, he's doing
This one right here is our fine mesh. It's a fine mesh diffuser. This also works inside coffee cups at home. I use it all the time, depending on what's clean and sit by the coffee thing. So you can use this also. This just fits right in here and you steep it just like you do all the other teas. Rooibos tea can be steeped
Do you like
2
that
times.
little
Yeah.
I have to make some more water real quick. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna go over the other teapots that I brought. We have various teapots in the catalog. This one's one of our newer teapots. It's a really cool lime color. This has a twisting mechanism on the top, so you twist it to lock it in, so when you're pouring it doesn't flip off. When I first got it, I thought it didn't fit. So you have to turn it this way to get it on and off. Yeah. And then it also has this little, where the indentation there fits inside of it, so it all hooks together. And then you can stick that. Now, in case you ladies don't know, there is a difference between a kettle and a teapot. So these do not go on the stove. A kettle is something you boil water in. A teapot is something that you serve out of or steep in. So in my electric kettle, you can get a cheap electric kettle at Target for like $29 if you want an electric one, which makes it real convenient. They're really fast. Another nice one we have is a stainless steel teapot. It comes with a little rubber gripper on top.
That
I
was
love
better
this one. It's really nice. It has an infuser in it also, and just a basic teapot. This one takes a little bit of getting used to. It is a no drip teapot, but there is a certain, you'll learn once you start using it what the right angle is so that it doesn't drip. So same thing with the glass. We get the hang of it. What's that?
I bought one of those from you. Stainless steel.
Oh. Yeah.
Now, where'd you say this tea was from? This is.
It's from an African redbush.
He weighs as much as her, probably.
All the teas can be made. Fruit tea, all of them. It's funny, most people start off with the traveler, and then they'll go to the brew because it's like markups, and then everybody graduates.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sore tomorrow.
So I always tell everybody,
Pick you back up, don't leave.
don't worry about some teapot. Just sell the traveler, and they'll do that because everybody always
your arms
ends up,
out there.
they get into more of the habit of drinking it and feeling like tea gives you a really clean energy. So people like that feeling because they're drinking more, and so they'll always stack the teapots. You don't have to worry about selling the teapots they sell. It's favorite. So just get them started.
Bless you.
Your arm started.
He's heavy, he's 30 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
So another thing that we have is the last thing I'm going to show you to steep in is the steeping sacks. And these will be what you guys will use today if you brought your own cup. I have set out on the countertops. There's various types of tea. The green clips are green tea, black clips are black tea, white clips are white tea, no clips are white tea, black clips are black tea, purple is herbal, and blue is fruit. So what you'll do is you'll take this, you'll take your perfect cup spoon, put it in there, and then you'll steep it for 3 to 4 minutes. Is a typical rule for steeping. The fruit teas, you can steep them forever. When I get the fruit tea out of the fridge, you'll notice I left the fruit tea in it all day yesterday and today. Once it's done steeping, it's just steeped out. That's how fruit is. They call it fruit tea. It's more of a fruit infusion. There's no actual tea inside the fruit tea. So that's something. Another thing you can do is you can mix and match your teas. Like for nighttime, I'm not a huge chai person myself. We have a sleepy time chai, but I make my own sleepy time tea. I take chamomile, which we sell in the catalog, and I mix it with any of our rooibos teas. So it depends on my mood on what I mix it with at nighttime. You can also mix like the fruit teas and the green teas. If you want to make your fruit teas more or green teas more sweet, you can do that too. I'm almost getting this out. I was reading that. So I'm gonna just filling my teapot. I use that perfect pot spoon. One thing I should have done, which I always forget, it's not gonna hurt you. Is that is fill your pot or cup first, and then put your infuser in it afterwards. The tea doesn't get forced out through the holes from you pouring your water in. And I have not quite got that habit yet. So You'll notice there's a little bit of rooibos floaties in there, but again, it works just perfectly fine to drink. Just some people don't like any floaties in their tea, so.
So you pour it after.
Pour the water in first and then say your infusement. Because of course the water pushes the tea through the holes, okay? Or any little particles. But it's fine to do either way, I mean, it's not gonna hurt you any. So while we're waiting for that to steep, I'm just gonna go over matcha a little bit for you. Matcha is trending. You'll notice a lot of celebrities carrying around matchas right now. Matcha tea bars are popping up all over New York, all over the place. What matcha is, it's a finely ground green tea. CT uses the first tea leaves on a tea plant. So the matcha, they actually take it, grind it up. It's really fine. You're consuming the whole tea leaf instead of just consuming the boiled tea leaf. You're just getting the boiled part. So they say that matcha is like drinking 10 cups of green tea in half a teaspoon. So a thing of matcha will last you a very long time. It's a very earthy, grassy taste. Some people love it, some people not so much. It's pretty good if you put it in orange juice in a shaker bottle and shake it up and drink it in the morning. It gives you a really long, sustained energy. It doesn't have the blood sugar spikes that coffee and that type of caffeine does, so it's really different. I'll pass it around. There's some of the benefits on here. What you do is you can put it in your cup. If you're going to do it the traditional way, you take a matcha whisk and whisk it around until it's all floating. Some of it starts to settle, you can do it again. I personally have started doing matcha smoothies where I just put some fruit in the blender in the morning, put my matcha in, I get a big cup to my husband, a big cup to myself, and that's it, and then we have our energy for the day. So it comes in a tin, really easy to use. I have an actual Facebook matcha group where anybody's welcome to join that. We have a bunch of consultants in there as well as their friends and family too. So we post recipes in there all the time and different things that you can do to get into your family's diet. We do not suggest this for children because of the caffeine that's in the matcha.
And that's already ground.
Yes, it's already ground. This is surrounding to look at. We have a pure matcha, so we 100% matcha. We also have other flavors, and we're going to be coming out with even more that have fruits or something ground up into it. This one is pineapple punch matcha, so you can pass that around. Shirley. And we have sweet strawberry matcha.
Like my daughter, she has a special that I don't have in a tin. And she told me after she does this, you actually read them.
The leaves on it, we do not have it.
But they're not, they don't look like our tea. It's kind of, they're longer, little But
Yeah.
those for what you were talking about, that they're doing. You
No,
don't
we do not carry anything like that.
That's probably something that.
They'll take out how they, yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's very earthy. So this rooibos that I'm getting ready to serve you, a lot of ladies that come to my parties get these for like after dinner for a treat. Because again, it's sweet. The rooibos typically comes in a lot of dessert flavors because it does have this natural sweetness. Whereas green tea, it's hard for them to get the sweeter dessert flavors in that because green tea has that little bit of bitterness, so it's kind of hard to pull off. So rooibos teas are really popular. So this one's going to be vanilla cupcake. Sorry.
This is vanilla cupcake coming out. It's right on a little rose. I'm getting some too.
Right on a little gold.
But I'm getting some.
So I have not had a rooibos tea that I don't like. As I said, rooibos tea is naturally decaffeinated, with the exception we have one in the book catalog that we have
Look at her.
that we have for coffee drinkers, and it actually has coffee beans in it that you will get a little bit. It's called macchiato drink. You will get a little bit of the residual caffeine from the coffee beans.
Three.
It's vanilla.
Four.
The nice thing about rooibos tea is I like sugar in my tea, but this one I typically is not, I don't have to add sugar.
And they didn't have the tongs.
This is the vanilla cupcake.
High five.
The major things over there. Take that and take the whole thing.
So this is another one you can mix with chamomile tea and have for your nighttime tea if you wanted to.
I don't want one. Yeah, Stephanie wants one and Kaylee wants one.
Now rooibos tea has a nutty flavor to it. You notice the nutty flavorness to it?
If you have a palate.
Hey, it doesn't matter. You're not paying attention and you're worried about other things. Can you get out here and stuff your
This one smells like birthday cake. Smell it. Oh, look at our iPads.
It's hot, honey, so be careful. We have a mint chocolate chip rooibos that's really good. I typically serve that one in the fall.
See, there's the other one. That's the mint chocolate.
It's good. Mint chocolate chip rooibos.
That is hot. That's why I do not actually want
why you're holding it over my leg.
Still out on some of their burn.
You're gonna spill it. I don't have
Yeah, and there's more in here. If somebody wants some more, let me know.
Now, and this is the energy one.
No.
This is rooibos.
Rooibos is caffeine free, so it's not
This
gonna
was
be.
vanilla for you anyway.
Oh, which one was the energy?
So Max is gonna give you a ton of energy. Any of the community census, the black, white.
Oh, no, wait.
Black's gonna be the highest as far as caffeine out of the community census plant. Green is middle of the road, and then white. And black is nowhere close to coffee. Like a pound of coffee, I can't remember the conversions, but it's like 400 cups opposed to, I don't know, some minimal cups of tea that you get out of it for caffeine wise. I have it on my post it in the group, because I don't remember the conversion right now.
Because I'm a coffee drinker, so.
Okay, yeah, and we do have the macchiato green that has the coffee beans in it.
Let me hold it while you pass out sugar.
But the matcha will really give you that good sugar.
It's very good.
The matcha or even shaken in orange juice, that will give you a lot of energy for
Which
sure.
one?
That's the matcha.
Matcha.
Matcha. I mean,
Matcha.
That
this
one
would be
that
good.
Smell like grass.
Correct.
Matcha.
And that's really super healthy for you.
Mackenzie, let it melt a little bit first.
So the last one that I did for you ladies in the infusion, actually I'm gonna do one more because I forgot.
And that I need to work with.
So this is the reason why Julia decided to have the party, was for the banana split. It's an organic fruit tea, so they smelled this and they said, oh yeah, I'm going to have a party. So this is the whole reason why you these are here, so I have to make this one for you.
Is this rooibos?
This one is a fruit tea. So it's an organic fruit tea.
Just not enough tea in there.
So far,
Go into a sugar.
so far which one do you like?
So I'll pass this around and you ladies can smell it while I'm brewing it.
Thank you.
I think I'm like about a ton of sugar high.
Yeah.
Because I don't normally get sugar.
Oh,
Which of the-
I'll here's yours, baby.
When she said we can try it, don't you want to eat it?
You like that one?
Bananas, yeah.
Okay.
This is actually bubble gum.
How many ounces?
Which one's yours? 3.52.
Yeah.
I'm like right on now.
That's the 3.5.
That does slow down.
Hey Ginger,
Yes.
they were asking if you would do matcha tea.
This is just.
When I do
A
my
sample?
Sugar hit your
Sure.
teeth.
No sage. So the fruit teas are also geared towards children. We have 3 fruit teas in the catalog that our founders have named after their children. It's Sammy Sweetheart, Jenna Jubilee, and Lady Layla. And out of those teas, there's a donation given out of every large bag that's purchased that they give back to JDR. So, it's a really good program.
They were cheering.
Is that your mom? Is that sugar?
Did you notice how the banana split? I know what it is.
Yeah, it's banana split. It's fruit tea. What did she do? Are you gonna eat it? She wanted to.
I did. You can tell by look at her face.
It's not like an oxygen mask.
So which matcha do you ladies want to try? Pineapple punch, regular matcha, or the strawberry, sweet strawberry?
Strawberry.
Straight strawberry.
Strawberries, babe.
Sweet strawberry.
You just like the sweet word. Do you know how many servings are in the littler container? Because that one says 200.
Right, so it's double the amount, like this is a, I believe a half a teaspoon is a half a gram. No.
Okay.
Oh. I don't off the top of my head.
That's okay.
I can get that to you.
I can
I
figure
don't
it
want to
out.
give you the wrong information.
Nope, it's
It's a
okay.
half
I
a
can
teaspoon, so whatever that converts over to grams.
Oh.
Okay. So 100.
Yeah, because I want to say the 100 gram lasts a little over a month.
I did. Oh, there's a little bit. I thought somebody else
And
needed
the
to
second
open it.
floor over there, where she keeps them. So, you know, the washing fruit, that's what it was.
Okay, so when I'm going to serve you the banana, I'll do the matcha at the end because it's going to throw off your sweetness palette if I do it beforehand. You guys will think everything else is out there. Yeah, so let me do that one at the end.
They have to get you tea and I wonder.
That's your picture?
Yeah, she knows in hundreds.
I'd be going to the bank right now before they.
That's what we're doing.
Okay, bye. Somebody got money out of their account. Tried to go to the bank and then somebody emptied their account.
Oh, no.
So they're going to the bank.
Yeah.
Well, he couldn't get money out. He was trying to get money out for groceries. And she just said, somebody hit our account and we have no money. They just got moved yesterday.
Oh, no.
So that's why she left. They're trying to get to the bank before noon.
Oh my word.
What bank is that?
I know, yeah.
Yeah, she relaxed first before she goes.
What bank is it?
I don't know, I didn't ask.
Yeah, we're like, we're not
She just came in and she just came in, so I had to go, somebody hit our.
So this is the banana split. Do you want to spread this? No? Which one is it? Banana split.
Oh, I would just attach it. Some white tea?
No, it's fruit. Oops, I'm sorry.
Don't say that out loud.
What'd you say?
And my question is, can you take Isaac with you when you go?
Okay, now this is what I need to read to get it soaked to my head.
Are you scratched?
Matcha.
She likes it.
She likes it.
You agree?
Yes,
She's over here, and I keep getting.
Straighten myself up.
This couch is weird.
Well, it was where she had the pillow.
Okay.
Oh, I can't sit
She
down.
was, she was getting behind me.
It's going to be behind you.
Well, thank you.
a high chair with wings. Let's keep you upright.
Try it without the sugar first.
Yeah, most of the fruit teas people like without the sugar.
It's gonna be hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hot.
It might just be our cups.
Yeah, this comes in green or gray.
It goes with my
I have green and gray. This very green in my kitchen and gray. So both of them, when they came out with them, I was so excited.
The teacups?
The teacups, they have it in green and gray.
Yeah, you could buy this by the gallon. Lose memory and concentration. Do they sell it by the gallon?
Which one's that?
This
one?
matcha? No, the matcha.
Oh, matcha. Gotcha.
So I got up at 7 and eat 3 more lots. And function for me.
And if anybody wants more of this banana, just let me know.
And there's already sugar in this too.
It doesn't need sugar.
You think it's
Maybe I had some
You had so
leftover.
much sugar in it.
Yeah, I didn't because no, I don't have any sugar.
You don't like any sport.
He'd already taken his he already had a resume, found his resume, and he took it with him, and then he said, the only days I'm not available is Tuesday evenings because of church. And he goes, and if there's any kind of testing or something.
It smells good. You just have that cap.
He was cracking me up. Because Anthony, I worked for Anthony, not Anthony, Austin. He goes, because I work for Austin. It was so hilarious. And I was like, I was trying not to laugh. It was the funniest thing. Yeah. Because I work for Austin.
I don't work for Austin.
Austin's for me.
No.
Austin?
Yeah.
Project
So this one I'm going to serve you now is called Magical Mango. This one I made cold. I did hot steep it first, let it sit on the counter to room temperature. A lot of times with the fruit teas, it's better to hot steep them first and let them see it out before you put them in the fridge. So I let it get to room temperature and then put it in there. I did leave the fruit bits in. It's perfectly fine to leave those in. It's also perfectly fine to eat those fruit bits if you want. There's no actual tea. Again, it's more of an infusion of fruit. So you can add extra fruits to this. You can do the frozen fruits in there. You can do whatever you want. I did add, for the Magical Mango, because it's a little bit bitter if you don't add a little sugar. So I did add less than a half a cup of sugar to this. Basically, you want to make a simple syrup with your sugar because it'll help your sugar to get all through your tea. The way you do that is you put some water on the stove, like a cup of water, a half a cup of what you're going to use, sugar, and you boil that.